And welcome back to Rockstars Uncensored with Laura Hargrove. Today's guests from Great White, I have Mr. Audie Desbrow. We are going to start off with Audie here in just a moment. I would like to thank today's show sponsor, Big Willie's ATP. They receive new products such as hemp jewelry, large collectible knife selections. They have the state's largest incense inventory. You can get 10 for $2.50, 30 for $5.50, or 100 for $18. One of my favorite scents is the strawberry cheesecake. Again, located at 3028 Memorial Highway, Big Willie's ATP, where everyone leaves with a smile. Audie, are you with me?
How you doing, Laura?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
Good. I guess you're feeling a little under the weather, so hopefully this won't be too painful on you.
Okay, yeah, I think I caught a little flu, I guess, from flying.
Okay, Audie, well, the last time I got to see you, or I guess I got to meet you and see you on stage was up at Thunder Mountain Rock Fest last June.
Right.
And what a wonderful performance. I hadn't seen Great White, I think since had to be the very late 80s, early 90s since I had gotten to see you guys. So, and I was still just as impressed with the whole band.
Much.
You all still sounded just like you used to, and it sounded just like you were listening to the CD. And I always appreciate and respect bands that are have that ability to do so.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Audie, you've been a drummer for 28 years.
Yeah, it's probably more than that.
Okay. What age did you actually start drumming?
Well, when I was 2 years old, my parents got me this little toy drum set, which I destroyed all the drum heads on because I guess I was beating it up too hard. And I was afraid that I was, going to get scolded for it. And I remember that very well. But actually, when I was 9 years old, I got a lesson book and some sticks and a pad, and once a week I got to go out of class for an hour to go have instructions from one of the music teachers in my elementary school. So I guess you can say from when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Long time.
Yes, that is a very long time. What were some of your influences? Why did you choose the drum over any of the other instruments?
Well, my mother played drums in a jazz band when she was in high school, which was very unusual because there wasn't too many female drummers at the time. She used to tell me she used to get heckled a lot from the her other classmates, and her sister played piano, and my uncle, who was the trombone player, they had a picture in their high school annual of them playing together at a dance. And when the Beatles came out, Ringo Starr was one of my influences. I actually saw that movie Help 58 times. I wanted to be so bad like Ringo Starr and the Beatles. Mm-hmm. And my mother had given me some of these Beatle albums that she had to listen to, as well as other bands' albums. And I would actually sit there and listen to them and play along on my pad to them the best I could.
Well, that's kind of neat that the music kind of is within your family.
Yeah, actually, you could say that, sure.
And I know that you guys had just finished up a new album called Elation, and that should be in stores May 18th, is that correct?
Yes, May 18th. Very exciting record, very awesome how it all came together, and we're just so elated by it. It's a really great vibe that it came together in the studio. We had quite a few songs of material already written for the record, and we actually ended up only using 2 of those songs that we had written before we got in the studio. All the rest of the stuff was just coming together so well in the studio that we actually, put those other ones aside and came up with these new ones. We have actually 12 originals that will be on this record.
Wow, that does... like you said here, you had music planned, and then you come up with something completely different. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
Now
I'm excited for you and everyone else to hear it.
I still have Great White on tapes.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and they're still playable. I always think that I was going to take a picture of my tapes and then do it for the YouTube, so maybe I'll have to do that. Yeah, I have such a large selection of tapes, and I still listen to them. So compared to, say, the Great White we all love and adore, how would you describe is it a very similar feel? Are we, what are our fans gonna, I guess, expect from this new album?
Well, I think they will notice a lot more energy, and the song, the direction and the songs itself, the contents are more upbeat and more positive. Definitely rock and roll. Definitely in the Great White vein. Some up-tempo stuff. And the thing I like to say is Terry's vocals just fit so well with this music. It's just incredible, and it's ignited a whole new spark on our morale in this band that we haven't had in a very, very long time. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
And is that going to be nationwide? You know how sometimes they only do it in certain cities?
Mm-hmm. Right. They're actually going to be released in Japan, Europe, and the United States all at one time, May 18th.
Fabulous. And again, if you didn't catch it, the album is called Elation. Now, I know you actually wanted to name the album a different name, but it didn't sound like majority ruled on that.
Yeah, there was actually a couple. One was Tabula Rasa, I believe you pronounce it. It means rebirth. And then there was another one, was it something psychosis? I can't remember exactly what it was, but they both had a meaning of rebirth or a fresh new start. But, the name Elation, it fits the whole vibe and everything that we had going on in the studio. It was just so exciting, and it just seemed to fit the title better for the record.
Oh, and now, speaking of that, Great White has gone, through some significant changes with Jack Russell going on to do Jack Russell's Great White, and then you got the original, well, I would consider you guys more of the original Great White.
Right.
Do you think that that's going to cause any problems with Great White fans?
With the fans? Well, it's really not the first time something like this has happened amongst a rock band.
Sure.
There's, Journey, Van Halen, even back to AC/DC, although, Bon Scott did pass away, and they said that AC/DC would never last, and here it is 30 years later, and they're still on top of the world.
Right.
There's been changes in Skid Row, LA Guns, and it's, I understand for the fans are kind of felt let down because they're so used to hearing these certain songs with a certain voice that they identify the band with, but, things happen and things change, and, we've got Terry, and, we're deciding to move on and just go from there, and, hopefully the fans will accept it in the long run, because we're here to stay, and like I said, the vibe has just been fantastic, and we're very excited to be, moving on, and we have a lot of shows booked this year. We actually did 70 shows last year with Terry.
Wow.
And, so, a lot of the fans have heard us with Terry, and we've had a lot of great responses, I've never really, for the exception of a few naysayers on the Internet, which there's always going to be, people that don't have to show any accountability. They're going to be up there ranting and raving or whatever. But, the proof's in the music, the proof's in the live shows, and, I just ask that people come and check out for themselves, and they can make their own decision. Everybody has their own opinion and their right to like who they want.
Well, I think, I really hope that both bands do well. It just seems strange that you have two Great Whites, virtually.
Yeah, then again, most lead singers that go off, doing their own thing, like Robert Plant, Sting, these bands, I've never heard them go out like saying, Robert Plant's Led Zeppelin or Sting's Police.
Right.
I would just think that the vocalist would go out strong enough on their own to call their band their name.
Yeah, just leave
like
it.
David Lee
Jack
Roth.
Russell.
He didn't say David Lee Roth Van Halen, So I kind of scratching my head on that, but, whatever. I mean, he has the right to make a living, and, so be it.
So your new singer, Terry, did you know him before? How did you find him?
I didn't know him personally, and I did find out later that he was the singer for that band called XYZ. And of course, I YouTubed it to see what he was all about before we actually got him. And I said, man, this guy has a pretty good voice. And but the real thing is, when he came to work with us on this record, he's just unveiled a whole new persona of talent, I think. And Michael Lardy and Mark Kendall, who produced and co-produced the record, they brought the best out of this guy's voice. I don't think he's ever really had a direction when he was in XYZ to really shine like he does now.
Well, that's fabulous, and what a great band to have that opportunity to grow with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was telling us that he was a big fan of Great White for a long, long time, and he always had the utmost respect for Jack and his voice, and said it was a great voice. He's a great singer, and for him to actually be in the band now is he's just so over, he's so excited about it. It's like a dream to him that he never would have visioned ever being in the band, and here he is.
Well, and he's been with you, you said, just right around 2 years? Just under 2 years?
Yeah, getting on 2 years. We did, like I said, we did a whole tour, excuse me, with us last year, close to 70 dates, and we've already done some shows this summer, this year, and we did some Iowa shows. We've done Pittsburgh, we've done New Mexico, and we're headed next weekend to Florida, actually. And then we have a whole list of gigs on our website, but we're also doing headlining a big festival in Switzerland, actually, I think in June.
I do fit in a small suitcase.
Pardon?
I do fit in a small suitcase.
Oh, okay. I actually have an extra large suitcase because I always have to carry a bunch of stuff with me.
Then I got a little elbow room in there. All right. I know we're splitting the show up, so we just have a few more minutes to talk. So I do just wanted to touch base. Great White is coming out with a book called Shark Tales, the tell-all book, 30 Years of Rock and Roll, and that's to be released this year as well.
Yes.
Now, was this book written with Jack? I mean, are you all collaborators on this book, or?
Well, actually, it's still in the process, and I haven't really found out all the details, to be honest with you. It's something that our management has brought to us, and I know we're compiling bits and pieces of stuff, and I'm sure we'll all be able to have input in it when it is coming out, when it does,
when it's finished.
But like right now, we are so involved with the release of this record and the tour coming up and all the other stuff, so I really couldn't elaborate. I'm sure Michael might be able to elaborate a little bit more on that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me, like, during a live show, is there ever been, like, a complete disaster that happened to you?
Well,
like something completely funny that was out of your control and it was live.
Well, actually, at the beginning of my career with Great White, I do remember one concert that we did in Lancaster, California. Our manager was with us there, and he had put together the set list for the night, and he showed me the list, and in the middle of that list it said drum solo, and I just, like, my eyes got big. A drum solo? He goes, yeah, you can do it, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, and I didn't really prepare to do a solo. I've soloed in the past in different bands, and I've had time to work on stuff, and it was just kind of off the cuff. And so I was pretty full of adrenaline and kind of, excited and a little nervous at the same time that right before I started to do the solo, I got really lightheaded, and I actually was vomiting on my drum set as I was playing the solo.
Oh, was it splashing up in your face?
No, I was trying to keep my head aside, but a little bit splashed on the floor at times. It was kind of gross, but nevertheless, I got through it. But I was just a little overwhelmed, a little overexcited, and hugely embarrassed.
I bet you were. Well, thankfully you're a drummer, where you're a little more in the back.
Yeah. Plus, it's kind of cool in a way. Well, the guy was playing so hard, man. He was throwing up. It was awesome.
So do you carry something just in case that feeling ever comes up again?
No, like a little barf bag.
Yeah, you got a little barf bag back there next to your bag of sticks.
Well, I do have a stick bag, but it's
no barf
rod,
bag.
So I don't know if it hold it too well. But I haven't really had any problems with that ever since then. I have thousands of shows under my belt, and I haven't been doing any solos lately. But if and when I ever do again, I'll definitely be more prepared than it was that evening.
Okay. Oh, I'm still envisioning the puke. That's good stuff.
I'm just lucky I didn't have Mexican food that night,
What did you eat?
It was so long ago, I have no idea. It was probably, who knows, a burger. It's probably just as gross. But, I had been drinking, I drink a lot of water while I play, so that was one benefit to not having, the chunk factor.
Yeah, back there gagging on your food, coming out your nose.
Peas and carrots and stuff like that sticking out. Real colorful.
Chili.
No. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, it's gross. Okay, Audie, I know our time has come here. I know we're going to play, I believe it's Save All Your Love. Is that what we're putting on? Yep, Save All Your Love by Great White. And I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I can't believe how quick it went.
Yeah. Usually I just have one person on, and we like to usually, go about an hour just because there's so much stuff to get covered. And when I scheduled you, she said that she wanted both of you on, so we could have done a 2-hour show, I guess, but
yeah, easily.
But we can definitely, how about when the book comes out or something like that, you're more than welcome to appear on the show again, and we can plug some stuff for you. How's that sound?
Absolutely. I'd love to do it again.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, keep in touch, Audie, and good luck on your tours coming up and your release of the book and the new album. I'm really excited to hear that Great White is moving forward in a great way. Didn't seem to sidestep you guys at all.
No, not at all. Everything's great, and we love our fans, and keep coming, and we'll keep rocking for you.
Well, we will definitely be there for you.
All right, thanks so much, Laura.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. All right.
Bye.
Bye.